Hey readers, Mrs. Wingers here, ready to read you another amazing story. This one is called Izzy Gizmo, and let's just take a look at this cover art because I love it. It might be the bird, you know, I'm a bird nerd. And all of this looks so cool. Izzy, we know, short for Isabella, right? Gizmo is a word that's sort of like an invented crafty thing. So Izzy Gizmo is the title of this story. It's written by Pip Jones and illustrated by Sarah Ogilvie. Okay, let's jump right in to find more about this character, Izzy Gizmo. Oops, don't want to skip over the title page. Okay, toolbox, pencil behind the ear. I'm thinking inventor. Izzy Gizmo, a girl who loved to invent, carried her tool bag wherever she went, in case she discovered a thing to be mended or a gadget to tweak to make it more splendid. But the trouble with things that have dials and switches is they don't always work. They have certain glitches. The T-Mendus, for instance, did such a fine job till it popped out a piston and dropped off a knob. Oh no. Then the swirly Spagsonic, for eating spaghetti, turned Grandpa's wallpaper into confetti. Oh boy. Okay, so she's an inventor, but it looks like things don't always go so well. The beer-tastic had Grandpa near perfectly styled, till the foam overflowed and the clippers went wild. When Isabel, who was so clever and bright, would get rather cross when things didn't go right. She huffed, "It's a duff! I've had it! I quit!" She kicked her invention and called it a twit. Oh boy. I've felt like that before when things don't go right. Izzy fumed. Grandpa smiled and chuckled. "You can't give up just 'cause the thingy-bob's buckled. Now trust me, young lady, sometimes you need to try again and again if you want to succeed." That's good advice. I just noticed this illustration. The shaver thing that she made for her grandpa. That shaved the back of his head. Whoops. Perhaps Grandpa was right, but still Isabel sighed. She picked up her tool bag and wandered outside. Kicking some stones on the path as she walked, Izzy jumped at a bump. Up ahead, something squawked. From the clouds, a poor crow had taken a tumble and landed, kapoof, in a feathery jumble. Izzy ran to the vet's, but the vet shook his head. "His wings are too broken to fix," the vet said. "Perhaps take him home, and there you could try to teach him to live as a crow who can't fly." Day after day, Izzy thought she had found something fun for her crow to do on the ground, like digging for worms and racing fat slugs, hopscotch and hoopla and searching for bugs. But the heartbroken crow simply gazed at the sky as the other birds sang and flew happily by. One night, with the crow in the folds of her sweater, Izzy sighed, "Oh, I wish I could make him feel better. I've tried. He won't play. He won't drink. He won't eat." She was so very close to admitting defeat. Grandpa said, "Izzy, don't give up on him now. I know you can do it. Just work out how." Then Grandpa passed Izzy her gadgety things, and she knew what to do. "I'll invent some new wings." Okay. Izzy piled up her books and she started to read. Then she made a long list of the things she would need. She searched for some batteries and old electronics, dismantled a mixer and the swirly spagonek. The crow watched, entranced, and he held Izzy's drill, while she bent, bashed, and battered and walloped until... Ta-da! Izzy fastened the wings with a strap, but they hummed and they twitched, far too heavy to flap. Izzy yelled, "I'm no good at succeeding." The crow softly cawed, his beady eyes pleading. "What now?" Izzy sighed. "Try again," Grandpa said. "Okay, follow me." And with that, off she sped. Izzy dived in a pond where she borrowed a pump. She took from the engine 2 sprockets a sump. I wonder how those people would know if they knew she was taking stuff from their motorcycles. Ooh. Izzy fastened the wings. They were light, they were curvy, but the wings, the wrong shape, turned the crow topsy-turvy. Oh man, another failure? "I give up," Izzy yelled with a furious frown. The crow sadly cawed as he hung upside down. So Izzy unscrewed the head from a shower, found special circuits to adjust the wing's power, and finally, using her trusty old pliers, she borrowed the motors from 2 big blow dryers. "Yes," said Izzy. Izzy said, "the right shape, perfect weight." But one wing flapped madly. The crow couldn't fly straight. "I've had it," yelled Izzy, heading straight for the bin. But the crow blocked her path. He just wouldn't give in. Wow, how many times has Izzy failed in this book? I think that's like 5 or 6 at this point. Whoops. Izzy twizzled and tinkered, and using his beak, the tip-tapping crow gave the screws a good tweak. Then he loosened the cog from Grandpa's old mixer. "You can fly!" Izzy cried. "Oh, your name should be Fixer!" After 2 loop-the-loops, Fixer came into land and stood very happily, cawing upon Izzy's hand. "You've tried very hard," Grandpa said, "and succeeded. You kept at it, Izzy. You did what was needed. But don't pack your tools up. Your day's not quite ended. A few things around here now need to be mended." Dun, dun, dun. The end. Oh. I love that extra page. Like, the author could have ended the book here saying, "Yay, she fixed the problem. The bird can fly." But then the last page kind of wraps it all up saying, "Wait a minute. You stole all those things. Time to put it back." Look at that angry cat. Okay, so what is this book teaching us? We know all books teach us a lesson, right? And if you're thinking, this book is probably trying to teach me to persevere and not give up, and remind me, because I'm sure you've been told before, that every time you fail, you're just getting closer to succeeding, right? Every failure is a gift because you're that much closer. You've learned the ways that it doesn't work, and so you're closer at finding the way it does work. This was a very cool story. I loved the rhyming. I loved the message. I loved the illustrations and how everything looked so gizmatic. I don't know, even these background illustrations, it's like, whoa, all this cool stuff going on here. So a very inspiring book. I hope you loved it as much as I did. And thank you again for joining. Bye.